Come
Which
on
one do you
down,
want to tell?
get a microphone, turn it on, and
So,
say hello.
Hello,
to the
everyone.
people.
so what, Constantine? What do you do in crypto?
In
Well,
crypto,
not in crypto.
I program basically.
Yeah.
So whatever the customer asks is kind of
Oh,
what you do, right?
Very good. So you program, and what do you work, John? Dan, I don't know how you survive in this world, Dan. It's very difficult. Like I try to keep an eye on you, and I can't even give you a drink. So, and it's a non-alcoholic soda, but
It's Club Mate Cola, right?
Yeah.
it's really bubbly apparently.
Very, very lovely.
Yeah, you have to get used to it.
Oh, jeez. Yesterday I leaned on the what I thought was a table or counter, and it was actually for some reason a piece of wood on a seesaw, and it was counterbalanced by
Badly,
some lady's
horribly balanced.
horribly balanced. So she had like a glass of water, so a laptop in the middle and a glass of water on the side. I leaned on the other side, and it just all over the laptop, the MacBook. She wasn't happy, but that didn't warn me about the table.
Well, the hackers around here can't really build great tables. Even this one here is a piece of metal stacked on some cardboard. So I'd be careful with that one too before we even start. But so Constantine, what have you been working on lately? I know.
Non-blockchain stuff.
Yeah.
So
no?
not really interesting.
Not that interesting to the crypto crowd. Do you want to tell your classic story about Purse?
I'm not sure which one you're referring to.
Uh,
And it's old news, right?
Yeah, it is. Well,
Did
I
we
think
put all of that past?
I think it's interesting.
Right.
But I don't know, what was the other thing you were talking about? That was good too. Anything else? I don't remember what it was.
I'm not sure which one you're referring to. Actually, I wanted to come here because I thought Max would still be here.
Oh,
And I didn't get the chance to kind of ask my question when he was doing his talk.
What
So-
question would you have asked him?
Whether or how Bitcoin development might change, or what the applications which are built on top of Bitcoin might change, considering that since his talk was mainly on signatures, right? And since we always have the signature size, which is important to whatever fits into the transaction, and with scriptless script and Taproot, we kind of instead that you have to actually look for how expensive is the stuff I'm doing. You have like an upper limit, right? Since everything could get aggregated into one signature and stuff, you can actually be wasteful with whatever verification you might have to do later.
Yeah.
Since you always only have to present, like, let's say, the happy path to a condition of a transaction, which enables you to do stuff differently than you did before. For example, what I was thinking about was, let's say, coin join, and you have 5 participants, and you might have the scenario where 1 or 2 might go offline or even stop cooperating, and then you still have a subset of, let's say, 3 people who still want to do a coin join and who are honest, and they might start a new one just with the 3 of them.
Right.
And that's something like right now would be a step you do afterwards, which you could now just do in the first place. That you kind of think like, what is every scenario on who might drop out, and already prepare for it and kind of put it in the initial kind of transaction.
So you're very much interested in the privacy side of Bitcoin then, and coin joins. Yeah, it seems to obviously it's a very, very common theme here.
Do you
at
have a
HCPP.
Samurai wallet?
No, I don't really use Samurai Wallet.
Is that an iOS problem? Because that's where I am.
I think it's probably because I'm coming. I used to be with my Mycelium. Lots of great stories with my Mycelium as well. And during that time, I was working with David Kravis for the Coin Shuffle one, which obviously never kind of got actually implemented completely. And we also lost Travis kind of to Satoshi Vision.
Madness, yeah.
Oh.
But
Yeah,
that's kind of why I have always an interest in privacy, coin joining, and all that stuff.
Well, mixing's always been a cool idea, and it's always been worth trying, and there's been different implementations. They seem very serious about it at Samurai. I hope that it works out and they complete it, and that they get the right you know, the large numbers of people, the normal people, just the push button people.
Right.
That's what we need. So
Agree.
So, what are you most excited about, or what talk have you enjoyed most at the conference so far, and what talk are you excited about?
So I think the most surprising for me was I'm not sure what his name is, Lee. He was talking about privacy with decentralized identity, which was in the institute. And what I found pretty cool that he kind of mid-talk presented two apps. One was Maskbook, and the other one was TeslaCube. And the main idea was like, we're likely not gonna switch our social networks because main reason is all of your friends are on Facebook. Same for WhatsApp. That's why you probably will not change completely to Signal because all your friends are not there.
Yeah.
Right?
sure.
And then he said it's easier to kind of use, let's say, PGP or encryption in general, and just use that on top of Facebook. So he has like a browser extension, Maskbook, which would just see that you puts your encryption key in your profile, and if you message someone who also uses this extension, it would automatically encrypt it and pass the ciphertext in there.
But ultimately, Facebook would still be able to see the
No,
information.
it would just see the ciphertext, but just the person who's kind of the
Oh, I
recipient,
see,
for him,
yeah.
it would
They'll just see
automatically,
gobbledygook, and then but it's translated.
right, for him it would automatically
Very
be
interesting.
translated.
That's a
And
cool, that's a cool concept.
It
actually,
is,
yeah.
and
Yeah,
he
it's
kind
really
of
cool.
used the same one and built a keyboard app for your
Yeah.
phone.
Yeah.
So if you use WhatsApp, whatever, and you're texting a friend, for example, would automatically encrypt it and passed on WhatsApp or I don't know which channel, just a ciphertext. And on the other side, he would automatically with his keyboard be able to decrypt it.
Interesting. That's really cool.
And
'Cause
that was
that
a
means
cool
you
spin.
literally use technically you could kind of use Facebook and be almost anonymous because everything would be encrypted.
Right.
And what's nice is you could still see all your friends' normal pictures and stuff.
Yes.
It would still be there.
Yeah. Interesting.
But I think it only works for text, right?
Yeah, well, you should be. I know you should. You can encrypt pictures. Surely it's all it's an algorithm that calculation.
Right.
Right?
It would take longer to decrypt them. I don't
Yeah.
know. The page loading
Yeah.
user experience might
Yeah.
be a problem. But
It's true, but soon, once the
soon.
power is up. So what? And any other that you're looking forward to?
I was looking forward to what was Young Park O.
It's
the
North Korea, yeah.
right. I thought he's on right now, but I guess
I think
I'm not
Traven
seeing him now.
Traven was saying he didn't. He got stopped
Yeah,
at the
travel
airport,
problems,
so, yeah.
yes.
Right.
Traveling to a hacker conference can also always be a problem. Definitely don't say that's what you're doing.
Yeah.
I think every year there's someone missing, right? Last year it was Cody Wilson.
Yep.
He was also kind of stopped. What was it, a day or two before?
I think he had his arrest and his whole troubles, and now he's not with the project anymore, and no one's heard of him since. So, but I'm sure he's safe and all that. He's not disappeared, but had some troubles. He did.
Word of warning: don't say you're going to a crypto conference or mention Bitcoin
Or that you're printing guns.
or you're printing guns. Oh yeah, obviously.
Or the whole underage women or whatever else Cody Wilson was into. All that stuff. It's his business.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah,
I think that's what he was on.
immigration.
I think that's what it was. But yeah.
So did you guys listen to any talks?
Oh no, we've been here in the fishbowl.
We did catch some of Traven's when we were fishing around.
Yep, when we met the Breaking Bad people.
Yeah.
They gave us the blue Jello.
Oh, that was pretty good.
The last thing I ate today.
Yeah, good. Yeah.
But now we're just hanging out down here.
Yeah, it's actually quite nice. It was like what alcohol was it?
Vodka, I'm sure.
Was it vodka?
Jello
Yeah.
shots.
Yeah.
I didn't really like it.
No, there wasn't a lot of vodka in it.
Right.
Yeah, it didn't seem that way.
Well, it sounds like Ryan says the video works. Yeah, Ryan, it's working now. But earlier we tried Open Broadcaster, and it just shit the bed all over the place. Horrible expression. But yeah, no, I was sitting here. Damn you, Germany, keeping Ryan from us. Maybe next time. But yeah, we needed a better encoder or better something. It worked for 5 minutes. It stopped for 20. It was just. I don't know if it's a computer problem or a settings problem or whatever, but we're onto the Zoom now, so we have less features and functions and bells and whistles, but the thing works. Put your drink on the table before you spill it. 5 minutes from now, you kick that over. So, from the future.
So you had technical issues.
Yeah, we had
Oh.
technical issues, then we fixed it. Now we're
Well-
having audience issues because the audience doesn't believe us anymore.
Right.
They think that we're a bunch of crying wolf, like, we have a live stream, and they're like, those skipping bastards.
Yeah.
And then they give us another try, and we fail them then. So maybe tomorrow the audience will believe. Maybe we'll stick with this Zoom thing, and maybe it'll just work the whole time. But either way, I think we need more lunch breaks, more dinner breaks. We need more crew,
Yep.
staff. We used to have a guy named Theo. We used to have a guy named Max. And I don't know what happened to them, but they've never been in this basement today. So we
Right.
just keep going forever. And that used to be a great way to get viewers, is to have a really nice long live stream and you get a lot of thumbs up, and then people would tweet about you. But then a lot of people won't give you thumbs up and they won't tweet about you. And they think that people have already heard. But like every time you do something new, you need people to share it.
Right. You always need to share the gospel.
Indeed, yeah.
Yeah, we have a lot of people that aren't sharers, or that maybe got shared, or they got help once and they forgot, and they're like, no, I did it all myself. I'm the only one that made me popular. And maybe it wasn't that way. Maybe other people helped you become popular and now you're giving them shit. So but you know, there's a lot of that going on out there, but I don't have time because I've got books to write and I got to sign books and I got steak to eat. So, you know, it's busy. But
So, what are you looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to
Or interviewing?
Monday when I go to that bank and try to get my ATM card back. Although I don't know that I'm ever
I don't
going to
think they'll
bother.
I think that gets
I don't
destroyed,
think it's
man.
going to happen. I'm just giving it up. But yeah, I had a fun time with the banks this morning. So I needed some crazy Czech currency because, you know, I wanted to eat in a cafe or something, God forbid. And so I go to the ATM. The first roll, it says, do you want $3,000 worth of Czech currency? I was like, 3,000 seems like too much. I was looking for more $200, $300. Second roll, $2,000 in Czech currency. I'm overestimating. Why does this ATM machine have even an option for 2,000? I thought it would be more 100, 200. I miscalculated on my
You went
button.
with the Euronet.
The third time, it said, you've waited too long. We're taking your card and giving it back to the bank. And I was like, how is that a problem for waiting? I mean, I guess they thought that I'd left and they don't have a motion detector or a
Right.
light reader or anything else, because I stood right in front of the machine and yeah, it sucked in my card and my ATM card's gone forever and I won't be able to get money in all the other places where I need cash money, which is really only Budapest and Romania, which presumably both have different currencies. So we'll see how much fun that'll be. I have some euros. Maybe I can make some trades.
Well, there's
But
I got money last night from the General Bites machine.
only Czech currency. I still need Budapest and Romania.
But I
But
didn't even find an ATM there. A Bitcoin,
yeah,
a Bitcoin
Bitcoin
ATM.
ATM. Yeah, we'll see.
There's
I'll
actually
keep giving
100
it
in
a try.
Prague. So someone said. I think
In
100.
where? In
I'm sure.
Prague?
Yeah. 180 crypto ATMs.
I blame Martin. It must be General Bytes
Yeah,
putting them
okay.
up like Johnny Appleseed,
Yeah.
bringing down that nasty fiat currency with that good old Bitcoin.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so what else is going on, Dan?
Well, so I think we've basically covered hardly anyone off the list. That's because we've been down half the time when people.
Some of this has worked though. No,
Yeah,
we've got
yeah.
a lot of people off the list. The sponsor guys came
Yeah, there's
down.
other sponsor guys.
Talk to the sponsor guys, which is really important. And I know everyone hates everything commercial, and certainly, God forbid, I'm not going to put a Bitcoin address up for you to donate because I know you won't donate. But it's not even worth asking anymore. But yeah, I really do like to support the sponsors of the conference I go to. I think it's important that they sponsor the conference, whether they be VCs or programmers or normal guys or ATM makers. It's great to sponsor your local conference, and when we attend them, I like to support them, ask them some good questions, see what kind of things they're building. So we did some of that today. That was fun. We had Paul Rosenberg came by from Crypto Hippie. We talked to Smuggler as well.
Smuggler, yeah.
It's getting
Samurai Wallet.
Samurai Wallet. That's a big interview, and we just did that for the second time. The second and probably only exclusive interview with Samurai Wallet. It's getting pretty nice here, being here for the third year, and doing things like, I know it's really interesting. I don't know Smuggler, but I've talked to Smuggler 3 times now, and each time he's super interesting, and I like talking to him. And it's pretty fun to have that experience of going to a conference 3 years in a row, doing the live couch through all the audio and technical problems as well, but also getting to have the conversations and getting to have the chats. We also had a nice chat with Paul Rosenberg, who we talked to 3 years in a row now as well. So that's pretty fun. Samurai 2 years in a row. We talked to the Rockaway Capital guys. That was interesting. Of course, Simple Coin with the Breaking Bad marketing and the check exchange. I talked to those guys last year too. Thanks to them for supporting the show both this year and last year, supporting the conference here. And talked to Exiled Surfer about Bitcoin Foundation and some of the early
very
days.
Interesting story.
Very interesting stuff. And what was great about that is that he was on the other side of that. I mean, I was watching the Bitcoin Foundation from the outside, but he was there working on the technical problems. And it was a great story. Constantine, he came in, he said, we've got a problem. We need you to transfer the domain names over to us. And he's like, why do we need to do that? They're like, because Mark Karpellis registered them all, and Mt. Gox had just went down. And what a time for the Bitcoin Foundation. One day you're working with Mark Karpellis, the big CEO of Mt. Gox, and you're working with Charlie Shrem, the big CEO of BitInstant, and the next moment, the disgraced CEO of Mt. Gox and the unfortunate Charlie Shrem. And just to see that shift, and then as an organization having to deal with that, and then having your funding, go from $300 a coin or $1,200 a coin right back down to $200 a coin, having to plan through that budgetarily. They weren't prepared for it, and it hit them like a wave. And the Bitcoin Foundation's history now. But it was an interesting, I think, well-meaning idea. It's tough because it's a centralized thing attached to a decentralized thing, and we saw the way that the B Foundation blew up and failed. And sadly, nice people working on it and all that, but good riddance. Good riddance.
Okay, so I can see the value in having a form of centralization if it's defending Bitcoin. But then even as in, just the ability to for example, shut down bad actors
you see, there you go. You can't have anything that shuts down bad actors. That's completely unacceptable. You've already gone over the line.
The more fraudulent ones.
It does. You have to decide who's putting.
Bad Dan.
Where are you putting the line exactly?
Yeah.
Exactly.
No, you're right.
Right on it. And it was funny because we actually had one. They had I'm blocking the name now. Parian Borings Institute. It was the crypto lobbying fund, and it started out. It was very much the Bitcoin lobbying fund, but it just drifted and drifted and drifted, and now they're arguing for the rights of tokens and the whatever. And we saw the same thing with the Bitcoin Foundation, and that's the problem with a lot of these institutions. Even if they're chartered with a good idea and they're trying to support something that we like or something that you're supportive, it can drift the way that WikiLeaks drifted. Originally, wiki meaning open and free, the Hawaiian word for quick, but it was like Wikipedia. It was open leaks, and they would just leak data. And then it became more selectively publishing leaks and politically timing leaks, and it became more questionable as if they were just committed to opening data or if they were a political organization targeting people. So
right, selecting kind of what they would actually release
exactly
based on, am I being hosted by this nation, country, or something like
there
that?
it is. And that's the problem with everything, is bias, and the way that bias injects itself into things, and people having hidden motives, and you work for this or you work for that, or you work for yourself. You can never tell what people's real motives are.
I guess your own agenda is the hardest one to ignore, right?
And the one that you can't see. You can act without
bias,
it.
That's why it's so difficult for people to grasp alternatives sometimes, because they see something, they just they latch onto it, and they don't see the negatives, they only see the positives, or when it actually happens.
Right.
So hits. They don't see their hits, misses. They see their hits.
So how long has your stream been going for?
Jeez, I don't know. It's,
I think it's been working for at least 6 hours.
yeah.
I think it was broken for 2, but working for 6. But we don't get any credit for the 6 because we broke it for 2 first.
Right.
So maybe tomorrow we'll get some credit for if things work. And I miss Open Broadcaster. I had some nice graphics. I bought a little stream box that switches the streams. It worked at home and it worked in testing this morning, and then it stopped working. And we what's great though, no one cares, but we've got backups. This amazing new board that I bought, thanks to donations from the audience, has a backup recording card, so I have good audio for everything we've done these last 2 days. So I will be uploading some kind of podcast or a YouTube video with a still image for that. Also, Open Broadcaster is supposed to write the video files to the computer, but I'm not sure if that worked. So we might have some very skippy video that I could put with the audio, or I'll just put a graphic and we'll have some nice podcasts. A lot of people listen to this anyway, which drives me crazy because I love the video and I want to capture the video, and I think video is historic and it brings you in. I like looking at the people I'm talking about and to. But then it's also, as a user, it's great to have a podcast. You can work with your hands, you can clean some dishes, you can do some other stuff.
Video
So
can be quite distracting.
it
I, for
can.
example, usually listen to it on the Autobahn, which is not really the great place to kind of take your eyes off the road.
Yes.
No,
Video so
no,
much.
No, I
Well,
think it's good. It's good. I'll let you know podcasts as well. If you want to go to bed but you want to drift off to something, you can just listen to it rather than having to watch and your eyes slowly getting more tired.
I don't really use it for a nighttime story.
Oh,
I don't
drift off
know.
to boring stuff.
Yeah, the problem is sometimes the boring stuff gets interesting, or
Yeah.
even the worst movie, I usually have to stay up to see the ending of it. But more and more, I can fall asleep sometimes. But I think we might put this stream to sleep for a little while. If anyone else had come down who wanted to host the stream, like Max or Theo, we could have handed it off and kept it going. Or if other people from the past hadn't all disappeared and gone their own way. But pretty much, I think I need to eat food. I skipped lunch and had a small breakfast, so I'm out of energy, and I'm gonna go eat some food. Maybe we'll come back. I'm pretty sure they're gonna lock down this area soon. I don't think there's gonna be a big night broadcasting rush, which was funny because I was here early, ready to work. I was here all day, ready to work, and then we worked a little.
I
don't know.
think we've had a
That's
good
something
day.
done.
I think we
But,
solved the problems.
Yeah, I think the video and audio works now. No one cares. But it's great. We fixed that one. And I'm one ATM card less. It was a signed collector's edition I brought all the way here from Las Vegas.
Signed collectors.
Signed by myself.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
There's only one of them. It's obviously a collector's edition.
Right,
It was numbered even, serialized, if you will.
Sorry.
And
It's been so long since I've actually signed the cards. I don't even bother.
welcome to the U.S. and welcome to being the U.S. and Europe. It's like everywhere I go, they're collecting my signature, which is funny because 6 to 8 months ago, I read an article saying that most people sign them with pictures of penises. So they were going to get rid of that whole alleged security feature because no one cares. You write a big circle and no one cares. But it's still here. The credit card companies move so slowly they can't even get rid of a security feature that does nothing.
But you have is contactless quite ubiquitous in the US?
No.
No, is it still
And
signing?
the fancy travel card that I paid more for didn't come with contactless. While my brother got the cheaper card or free card that came with contactless. So I don't know. I can't get a contactless card to save my life. Actually, the ATM card that was eaten was a contactless card, but I never knew it because only recently I learned that if you look on the back of your card, it has a little like a Wi-Fi kind of a signal that means that it's contactless. But then I also got that fun Apple card recently, and that's not contactless either, if you can believe that. Brand new magical titanium metal Apple card, not contactless. And this is one of the best things for our 5 people that are left with us here hanging out on the end of the stream. I think you'll get a real kick out of this. Here's the Apple card. I'm not afraid to show it to you because there's no number on the thing at all. It says my name that you already know, and it says Goldman Sachs, which I'm not crazy about. But
The enemy.
oh yeah, well you got to try out the Apple Card. You got to keep up on the old opponents.
It is decent.
It's
It's a
metal.
great
Yeah,
grade.
it's titanium.
So
So
this is in replace. It's just a Visa.
this is basically not enough people were using Apple Pay on their phone.
Yeah.
So they made a card to go with Apple Pay. And now right now I'm using the card, but I'm sure in the future they'd prefer if I just use the phone. And one of the interesting things that it had is this great feature where it said, change all Apple things to Apple Pay card.
Yeah.
So I pushed that the other day, and of course, all of my subscriptions to Apple, my App Store apps, and in addition, it turned out it changed my Uber payment method as well to Apple Pay card. So I thought that was a cool feature that never thought someone would be able to offer. None of the credit card companies own a phone company, change it to the Visa phone apps. But it's been an interesting thing trying out the Apple Card. And everyone's complaining I have a credit card. Whatever, you have to have expenses. You have to have, and especially in the wonderful world of streaming, you often don't have any money. So it's better to live on the card than to live on nothing. So
I actually, for the first time, bothered to use Google Pay because I was forced to. Fortunately, I broke my phone, loaded up all of my cards onto the new phone. Just for some reason, for the first time I did it, forgot my wallet at home, so I have no cards with me. I got to the airport and I bought that little DJI camera, and which I haven't used yet 'cause I've been sat in the fishbowl. But this has been way more fun. And I thought to myself, it's like, what, a couple £100, but a bit more. And I thought, I'm going to be rejected. Like, it's contactless. There's no way it's going to. And it literally, I took it. I'm Amex, but it took my payment. And it was for more than £30 or £40 the limit. And so it's actually really quite useful, to be honest. Yeah. It's worth loading them up.
I think we might try for one more guest. Constantine, thanks for hanging out. Maybe you can go bring back Martin from upstairs. I saw him down there. So get another guest going. But thank you, Constantine.
Thanks for coming on.
We'll see you around conference a little bit. Yeah.
See you in a bit.